What's up guys, Jag here, and thanks so much for your support on my last video. I appreciate it a lot. I did not expect it to get so much attention. I will definitely get more videos like that out there, but for now, with everyone spamming BGs for honor, I figured I'd make a quick BG guide that will work in both randoms and rated when that goes live. I'm going to talk about my talents and a little bit about the playstyle, and then show you guys how to set up my UI with what I do. I'll have the talent build in the description below for you guys to import and use yourselves. But with that all said, let's get started. So I'm going to start with the talents here and kind of talk about the rotation and things you should be doing. This is my overall setup, and I have two screenshots here that show just how much healing output we can do. In one of these, we did somehow manage to lose, which is kind of funny, but it is a great showcase of how much healing you can do with this setup. Over on the left side here, we have the class tree, and it's pretty similar to what you would see in the arena. The only big difference is I'm taking Close to Heart, which is a good raid buff that increases all healing taken by 8% from all sources, which is nice because it not only increases your healing, but healing from other healers on your team, and also the DPS on your team. This expansion, we were given abilities like Kick and Slows. However, Slow is a little bit awkward to use, and the Kick is really nice to have. It can stop CC and maybe some damage, but you don't want to be pushing in for this. You want to sit back and heal. That's the general play style of Mistweaver. Use your mobility to get away, not to push in RBGs. And then on the right side, we have the spec tree. It pretty much revolves around rapid diffusion. As Mistweaver in this expansion, we do spam Enveloping Mist a lot more in Battlegrounds. This will make your Enveloping Mist also apply Renewing Mist to targets, so you get a ton of them out there, a lot of spread healing, and it's just really nice to have overall. We also got a really nice change to Yu'lon this expansion, which reduces Enveloping Mist mana while Yu'lon is active. And then on top of that, we do get the reduced cooldown from 3 minutes to 1 minute. It does reduce the duration, but you can get enough value out of it each minute for it to be nice. And then we have some nice talents like Tear of Morning. This didn't see too much play last expansion as a legendary because Clouded Focus was just too strong. But now we can have Tear of Morning and Clouded Focus at the same time. So we just get a ton of healing, a ton of mana reduction, and it's just overall insane. We do also have Bone Dust Brew back. It's not a lot of healing overall on the meters, but it is really nice to have when you're kicked or silenced to save someone in a pinch, because it is on a different school of magic. Some of you guys might be wondering why I don't have Common Coalescence. This makes your Life Cocoon really, really big, but I found it wasn't really necessary. So instead, I decided to take a whole bunch of talents somewhere else. I didn't take Song of Chiji either because, again, we are not pushing in for CC, so I didn't find it useful there. Next, I'm going to go on to the PvP talents. The most important PvP talent is definitely Peace Weaver. It reduces your cooldown of Revival and gives you an awesome magical immunity for you and everyone on your team. Zen Focus Tea stops you from getting kicked or silenced, which is awesome because you're going to be casting pretty much the whole game. And then you have Chrysalis, which is just a really nice cooldown reduction to your major cooldown. However, I do replace this with Eminence in maps like Deepwind Gorge and Battle for Gilneas and Temple, because there are just a lot of structures that you can port behind, safely heal yourself up, and then go back into the team fight. Then I do also use Thunderous Focus Tea on maps like Eye of the Storm and Arathi Basin. This is just really good maps because you can knock people off cliff. Eye of the Storm, you can knock people off the center of the map where everyone's fighting for the flag. In Arathi Basin, you can knock people off of Lumbermill and Blacksmith into the water. So for the next part, I'm just going to show you how I have my UI set up, to show you how I see things in Battlegrounds. Luckily, you don't need as many add-ons as you do in the arena, which is pretty nice. The add-ons that I pretty much just use are Battleground enemies, so I can see what comp the enemy has and be able to target people pretty easily. I still use BigDebuffs. This has a nice icon over people's nameplates so I can see what they're doing. And then I do use details just so I can see healing and damage breakdowns to kind of get a better idea after each game to like what I need to do to improve and stuff. And then I do also use Omnibar. This allows me to track kicks and any major cooldowns, like maybe a Dark Soul from a Warlock, so I can line my revival up with Dark Soul and stop a lot of damage. And then I also have a TellMeWhen. You could also use a Weak Aura, but this basically just shows me when my Vivacious Vivification is up, so I know when I have an instant cast heal if it's available. Other than that, I do also just play with the raid frames a bit. You can go into edit mode and change the size and location and all that. And then I do also go into interface raid frames, and you can pretty much just copy this if you want my exact setup. I do usually have display pets on, but it was kind of bugging out earlier, so I turned it off. But yeah, you do want to see incoming heals. You want to see the power bars for both you and your allied healers. You want to see class colors so you know who you're healing. And then show debuffs, and I like to have only dispellable ones because in Battlegrounds there's a lot of information to take in, so I want to minimize as much as possible and focus on the important things. And then the last thing is a pretty cool thing they added, I think in Shadowlands actually, that a lot of people don't know about, but you can put in mouse over cast, and if you check this, you can actually target people by just mousing over their raid frame instead of actually having to target people, because you do have to switch targets a lot, and this is just very nice quality of life change. But other than that, that's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys get a lot of honor pretty quickly. I know I did. It was pretty easy, and overall, I think this expansion is going to be pretty fun. But other than that, I'll see you guys in the next one.